In the past decade, JavaScript has evolved from being a language that wasn't taken seriously to a tool that has revolutionized modern web development. JavaScript transformed into the best programming language for the modern web. But with browsers not yet supporting many of the latest features offered by the language, developers aren't able to take full advantage of JavaScript without custom assistance. That's where Babel turns the dream of using modern JavaScript in older and current browsers into a reality. Hi, I'm Gemma, and today we're going to take a quick look at Babel. In this video, we'll look at the basic functionality provided by the package by using the command line interface, working with small but applicable examples, and instructing Babel with assigned rules by creating a configuration file. The best way to see Babel in action is to work directly with its command line interface or CLI. So run the following npm command, which installs the core components, command line interface, and the most popular preset of the package. I created a file named index.js with an arrow function. I want to convert or transpile this code into an older version of JavaScript all within the command line. To do that, type npx babel index.js. You have noticed that Babel just printed out the original flavor of JavaScript. This happened because we didn't give it any instructions to follow. To fix that, use the preset flag to tell Babel what to do. We'll use the preset env option since it handles recent versions of JavaScript. Now we'll see the correctly transpiled code. But printing our output isn't convenient and doesn't make sense once we start working with projects. So instead of having the output land in the terminal, we can store it into another file by adding the out file flag along with the output file name. If you want to transpile an entire directory, you can do that as well. Just use the outdir flag with the source directory name before the flag and the destination directory name after it. Now that we're comfortable using the CLI, let's put Babel into context by looking at some examples. We'll start with arrow functions, arguably the most significant addition to the JavaScript language. We've defined a constant function named foo that takes in the parameter baz and returns the same value. Babel converts the constant into a regular variable and uses the reserved term function to define a function. Already we can see that developing with the latest JavaScript features allows developers to write less code. We can take it even one step further by spreading the parameters in the foo function. Here we see Babel using a loop to go through each argument that was passed into an array. This is when we really start to see Babel's heavy lifting since the package goes through such great lengths to transpile predefined functionality. Another great addition to JavaScript is string interpolation, which is an alternative to string concatenation. We've created two constants, person and sentence, and inserted the person variable inside the sentence. Babel uses the string prototype function concat to add the name to the string. Babel also handles restructuring, which is a more readable alternative to indexing objects. So we've created an object named Rihanna that has some basic information, and later used destructuring to grab that information. Babel will repeatedly call Rihanna to get her name, age, and occupations. This saves developers from having to make those repetitive calls to her. For the last example, we'll be looking at classes, which was a much needed addition to the language. We'll create a simple festival class with two instance variables, name and headliner. Then we'll create a constant named festival by providing some very important data. Babel converts the class into a function and assigns the instance variables to the function object using the keyword this. The command line interface is wildly powerful and perfect for smaller individual scripts, but if you want your entire project to be processed through Babel, that's easier to manage as the project grows in size and complexity. We'll have to instruct Babel with a highly maintainable configuration file. First, we'll create a Babel RC file, which serves as a replacement to the flags passed in at the command line, since Babel will automatically check for Babel RC and use the rules found in there. Babel RC has a basic structure, which at its bare minimum contains only two arrays named preset and plugins. Presets are simply collections of plugins or rules that Babel follows when transforming our source code. So if we want Babel to handle the latest JavaScript features, we would install and include the preset env. If we were working with a React project, we could also use preset React. If you wanted a finer level of granularity for your configuration, you can directly include plugins. So if we wanted to use some of the newest features of ES 2018, we can install individual plugins like one for async generator functions, for example. You can check out the full list of presets and plugins on the Babel website to see what would work best for your project. There's a whole lot more to Babel than what we covered today, but now you should be ready to use the latest flavor of JavaScript without having to manually maintain backwards compatibility. If you enjoyed what you saw today, like and subscribe. I'm learning with all of you, so if there's anything you'd want me to cover on the channel, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.